Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. My name's David. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Today I'm looking at the Star Wars X-Wing 2nd Edition RZ-2 A-Wing Expansion Pack. Now the RZ-2, also known as the Resistance A-Wing, was first seen in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Now I'm not going to lie, I love the redesigns of the A-Wings for Episode 8. I think it was a good call. They kept the model very similar to what we know and love from The Return of the Jedi, but modified it here and there, and I think it works quite well. So for the size of this particular model, we're looking at under 1¼ inches long, so it's very small, but don't let that fool you. This thing is jam-packed with detail. So we all know how my videos go now. We're going to take a look at the dials and tokens, the cards, put on a stand, look at the mold, the paint, compare it to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. And now it's time for that dial token roll call. 1 maneuver dial, 3 ship tokens, which are double-sided, 1 focus token, 1 evade token, 3 stress tokens, 2 shield tokens, 2 lock tokens, number 9, a 1 small single turret arc indicator, 4 charge tokens, 3 ship ID tokens, and finally 1 dial ID token. So that does it for all the dials and tokens. Now let's take a look at the cards. And now let's start looking at the upgrade cards. In this set we have 5. Like always, I will read the name of the card and then move on. If you would like to pause the video and read the paragraph below, by all means go ahead and continue when you're done. First up, we got Ferrosphere Paint, Heroic, Homan Missiles, Primed Thrusters, and finally Proton Rockets. So that's all the upgrade cards, so now let's take a look at the ship cards. And now for those ship cards, our first pilot is Greer Sanel. Oh man, these names. Laulu La Ampar, Talisian Lintra, I believe she is the A-Wing pilot from The Last Jedi, so that's pretty cool. Zari Bangle, Blue Squadron Recruit, and finally Green Squadron Expert. So that's all the ship cards, so now let's take a look at the quick build cards. And now for the quick build cards, here's our first one, and here's the second card. And that does it for our dials, tokens, and cards. So now, let's take a look at the stand. And now looking at the stand, like always, you get 2 pegs that you combine to make 1 rod. Peg it in the base like so. Then you're going to want to grab your ship. Remember, be very gentle. These are fragile. Place it on like so. And you are good to go. Alright. Here we go. Let's start this review looking at the mold on this bad boy. Now, like in all my reviews, I will go over all the major sections of the vehicle. And then we'll get a nice close-up look to see all the fine details. So up first on the sides, we have our missile launchers right here. These nice recessed pieces. Really cool. Moving back, we have our laser cannons, which apparently, not on this particular model, but they are able to swivel around. And that's pretty neat. That's why it comes with the turret indicator token. Very cool. Then we have our cockpit. Looking good. I love the paint job on there. Very detailed. I'd say it's detailed all over. Nice little lines. Couple recesses. Beautiful. Now on the back we have 2 Event Horizon engines. Looking awesome. Then at the bottom we have our peg port for the stand. Some more beautiful detailing. And I love how the tip right in between there. It's very deep and you can see right through it. That's pretty awesome. And speaking of seeing through, the engines have negative space. For being so small, that is very impressive. We also have some nice detailing back here as well. All in all, a beautiful piece. So now let's get a closer look. Alright, having a closer look, let's begin with the top of the craft. And my god, you know, this is as close as I can get, but look at all that detailing. Raised sections, little modules, recess work. This is amazing. I love all the little lines also. This is great. Now, this is so small that if you look closely, the black wash really had a hard time sticking in those crevices. So the amount of work they put in here, this is beautiful. It really is. Now, if I turn it, we can look at the cockpit. That looks amazing. You know, little hair there. I just love the detail on here. Fantastic stuff. Coming down the side, more line work, a little module. And then our laser cannon, which looks great. Some nice details on there. All the way around. That is great. Oh man, this is a great looking model. On the other side, we have our missile launcher. Some more recessed lines. Our other laser cannon, which looks great. Turning it over. I love the deep cut in the front. That looks great. And then more line work modules and recesses. What do you guys think in the comments below? Is this not a cool looking ship or what? Like for the size, this is jam-packed. I love this section here. Very nice. We got our peg for the stand, which we could see right here. The little cuts sideways, so that's why it sits crooked on the stand. I guess I could put a Dremel up there and fix it, but what are you going to do? Now for the aft section, look at that. We have that raised section that comes out, and then it's recessed with some molding in there. Even in back of the cockpit, there's some molding. That is amazing. Really a beautiful job. Now, back here we do have some molding, which looks great. And that's on both sides. Fantastic stuff. Now for the engines, I think they did a nice job. Look, we could see some pipes, things around it, different layers here. There's even some detail on the extra piece right here. That is sharp. Our fin has some line work as well as the bottom. Looking good. Now the interior is basically the same way. What looks to be some sort of pipes. Little module right there, a rectangle. Recess right above my finger. Pretty dope. And the line work goes all the way around on those fins. Just an amazing job. Now, I don't know if you guys could see it, but inside the engines, there is some detail. You could see the, I guess the inner rim has some work in there. Beautiful molding. Fantastic job. All in all, a beautiful ship. And that's everything for the mold. Hopefully I covered everything. And what do I have to say? This ship is beautiful. It really is. The miniature model work on here is exquisite. So now, let's take a look at the paint. And now looking at that paint on the RZ-2 A-Wing, this baby features 6 different colors. The first color is a beautiful light gray, which is the main color of the ship. You can see it on the main body, on the Event Horizon engines, the laser cannons. In my opinion, it's a nice color choice, very accurate to what we see in the film and other toys. So it's pretty nice. Even the back is painted. Beautifully done. Now on top of that, we do have a nice blue. I love the shade. It sort of looks like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. Really cool. And you can see, for being so small, how nice and intricate the paint job really is. We can see it on the back as well. Pretty nice. Coming down the bottom. Look at that. Beautifully done. The front is also painted, which is nice. And then also on the back wings next to the engines. Awesome. Oh no, nicely done so far. Next we have some red. Painted right here. On the bottom. And on the fins. Cool. Now next we have black for the laser cannons and the aft sections. The engines. This recessed part in the center, which looks pretty good. But damn, those engines came out good. Beautiful paint job. Now, some people think that this is black, but as you can see, it's just heavy in the wash. But we'll get to that later. But as you can see, it is light gray in there with black around the edges. Pretty cool, though. And then our last color is this nice glossy black for the cockpit windows. As you can see, it's reflecting light very nice. Beautiful job. Now that covers all the major colors, but the last one is, of course, the wash, which fills in all these nooks and crannies and really makes the detail pop. And it's my favorite part of these particular ships, because it really makes them look realistic. You know, dirty, gritty, and sort of brings the model to life. All in the back, it's filled in there. Beautifully done. The sides, the engines, the launchers. Looking good. Just an A+ job in my opinion. So now, let's put this baby back on the stand, compare it to some other ships before we finish. And now for a quick size comparison with the Star Wars X-wing RZ-2 A-wing seen in the center. On the right hand side we have the Rebellion A-wing. One of my favorite designs. We could see the differences between the two. Looking good. And then on the left hand side we have the Star Wars X-wing 2nd edition T-70 X-wing, better known as the Resistance X-wing. Brand new, and yes, the wings can open and close. A beautiful model. We're going to take a look at that real soon. All in all, some beautiful looking models here. And that does it today for my review of the Star Wars X-wing 2nd edition RZ-2 A-wing expansion pack. Now, I'm a big fan of the A-wing. I think it's a great design, but how does it stack up with this expansion? First of all, this pack gives you everything you need to add one RZ-2 A-wing to your Resistance faction squad. And I think you should. It's a great ship, and I think it could help your X-wings out with its speed. But one thing I do like is the fact that it does have a turret, which means you can change its firing arc in certain circumstances. Know what upgrades you could put on it, and also you're going to need the app for the 2nd edition version of the game to really understand everything you can do. I don't really like that aspect, but I understand why Fantasy Flight Games did it. But besides all that, let's talk about this model. You know, this is a beautiful, beautiful model. In my opinion, it's perfect. It's got everything it should have, and it's done right. And to build upon that, we have a very, very good paint job. 6 colors working together to really bring this ship to life. And I fully recommend it for players of the Resistance faction of X-wing. And I also recommend it if you're a Starship collector like myself, because this is beautiful and it's to scale with the other smaller ships so far. So that's everything I have to say about this beautiful ship today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. And if you would like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.